Live from RedZone Weather, this is a severe weather alert.
A new tornado warning is in effect for parts of Mobile County on this Friday afternoon. Current time is 4:16 p.m. and we have a new tornado warning that includes many cities and towns in Mobile County in South Alabama. This warning is going to be in effect until 5 p.m. local time, and it's going to include many spots on the western side of the city of Mobile, including areas near the Mobile Regional Airport. We've also got the University of South Alabama campus involved in this active tornado warning that is on the board until 5 o'clock local time. So again, a brand new tornado warning has just been issued for parts of Mobile County in South Alabama. You're seeing it there on the radar. This is a cell that is on the south side of this polygon, and it's moving off to the northwest at about 37 miles per hour. So here's what I want to do first. Let's go ahead and turn off the radar data and show you exactly who is involved in this brand new tornado warning polygon that is on the board for Mobile County. Again, you're looking at the polygon there. And if you are near Baker High School, if you're near the Mobile Regional Airport, areas near the University of South Alabama, also areas near Tillman's Corner, Theodore involved in this active tornado warning. We'll zoom in on the warning itself. And again, right now, the concern is really near the Mobile Regional Airport. We'll zoom in here. There we go. And this is basically from Irvington points north up to Sims, Seven Hills, also Wilmer involved in this active tornado warning that is on the board until 5 o'clock. So again, current time is 4:18. We've got 42 more minutes on this. And this is going to be a situation where we need the folks in Mobile County to take action and take action now. What does that look like? Again, for the folks that are included in the warning polygon in the middle part of your screen, Sims, areas near the USA campus, areas near the Mobile Regional Airport, lowest floor of the site-built structure, away from windows and doors. The idea here, we want you to put as many walls as you possibly can between you and the outside world. Best possible thing for you to do is to put on a helmet, preferably a football helmet or something that is going to insulate your head and protect it from flying debris. So again, this tornado warning has just come on the board, and clearly the tornado threat right now is greatest near Seven Hills and also near the Mobile Regional Airport. So let's zoom in here and get real tight on the radar, and you'll see that on the back side of this supercell thunderstorm near the community of Seven Hills, and again, that's just to the west of Baker High School and the Mobile Regional Airport, we need you to get shelter. This tornado is on your doorstep if you are at Seven Hills. We'll go over to the velocity view here and show you that this couplet, or in other words, this signature on radar, really ramped up over the last few minutes. We'll go over to the level 3 product here. And it seems like our Mobile radar is having a bit of trouble. There we go. Again, this circulation is near the Seven Hills community. We'll zoom in there. And that area of lighter green that you see in the middle part of your screen, that's where we have wind values probably gusting in excess of 40 to 50 miles per hour. And that's where we could have the embedded tornado. It's moving off to the northwest at about 40 miles per hour. So here's what I want to do. Let's look at the motion on this. Again, this possible tornado is doing just like that. It actually, the possible tornado may be very near the Mobile Regional Airport. You see this circle right in through here. That actually is the radar. The actual radar sits at the Mobile Regional Airport. And so this storm is so close to the radar that it may not be getting the best vantage point. Once this thing moves north in about 5 minutes, we'll be able to kind of get a better look at what exactly is going on. So again, zooming out here, this tornado warning is in effect until 5 o'clock, and this is for a big chunk of Mobile County. Let's zoom in here into areas where the possible tornado will be over the next several minutes. And again, for folks in Sims, Wilmer, also Millertown, Georgetown, along the US Highway 45 corridor. Those are the areas that are next in line to potentially see this possible tornado that's moving off to the north-northwest at about 37, 38 miles per hour. If you're in Tanner Williams, that's on the far western part of Mobile County out towards Big Creek Lake. If you live anywhere near Big Creek Lake, you do something about it, as in you get to that tornado safe place and you do it right now. By the way, Moffattville, which is the community on the state line there between Alabama and Mississippi, out on the US Highway 90 corridor, you live in Moffattville, you also are involved in this active tornado warning that is valid until 5 o'clock local time. Same thing at Lott and Chinchula. Again, these are the areas that will be under the gun in a matter of moments, kind of out ahead of the actual circulation here. Gulfcrest, Chinchula, Malvilla, Millertown, Earlville, very tiny community in the northwestern part of Mobile County. You need to do something about this. You are involved in this active tornado warning. We'll take off the radar data and again show you that all of the communities that I just called out, all the way up to Citronelle, actually in the northern part of Mobile County, are involved in this active tornado warning that's on the board until 5 o'clock local time. Now, getting back closer to where the circulation is centered right now, we'll zoom in here and get pretty tight because, again, the current circulation is probably near or just to the west of the University of South Alabama campus. In fact, we got a new scan there. In fact, this thing is right over the Mobile Regional Airport right now. I can't really see a circulation center, and it's because of the cone of silence, per se. The radar can't look directly above it to get a good vantage point of what's going on. And so, again, possible tornado is going to be very near Mobile Regional Airport and also near Seven Hills right now. And so, again, if you're checking on this at the last minute, or perhaps this is popping up on your Facebook feed, we need you to get to a tornado safe place right now, especially if you are at Sims, at the Orchard neighborhood, which is just to the north there of the University of South Alabama campus. Looking down at a few other sources here, I'm not seeing anything so far in the way of damage. However, this is in a very highly populated part of Mobile County. The western side of Mobile, the population density starts to diminish as you travel northbound on the US Highway 90 and US Highway 45 corridor out towards Sims and also Moffattville. But again, this is an area that's under the gun from a possible tornado as of 4:24 p.m. Let's actually go to a different source here and we'll show you the reflectivity, which is what you know as the classic radar. And across the region, it's been a dry day, mainly to the east of the Alabama River. Folks in Pensacola, areas near Atmore, Fulmerton, Bruton, Evergreen, also Monroeville, Greenville, Andalusia, all those areas have been dry today. All of the action in terms of severe weather and really all the rain today has been confined here over West Alabama, where we have an active tornado warning that continues until 5 o'clock for parts of Mobile County. Let me stress as well, down here in the southern side of Mobile County, we'll go down there, and if you are in Bayou La Batterie, Dauphin Island, Grand Bay, areas near Alabama Port or Delchamps, which on the map you see Bellefontaine, Delchamps sits just to the south of there on DIP, all of those areas that I just called out, you are not under the gun from this possible tornado. The tornado is actually up here near the USA campus and near the Mobile Regional Airport, lifting to the north. And so what that means is if you are in Dawes, if you're in Dees, as of 4:25 p.m., we can give you an all clear. So again, Dees, Dawes, Tillman's Corner, Theodore, you technically are still involved in this active tornado warning, but clearly the threat has lifted to your north. So again, we're giving an all clear at this point to Tillman's Corner, Theodore, Dawes, and Dees. You can come out of that tornado safe place right now. However, the tornado threat continues for parts of central Mobile County and north, all the way up to Citronelle. So again, what that means is Tanner Williams, also areas near the community of Lott, Sims, Millertown, also Wilmer, areas near USA, stay sheltered as this possible tornado is lifting to the north away from the Mobile Regional Airport. And I bet in the next few minutes, we are going to know if something is down or not in terms of an actual tornado being on the ground, because this is going through a very highly populated part of the western stretches of the Mobile Metro, which is central Mobile County. So again, you want to take this seriously. If you're in Sims, if you're in Lott, areas near Millertown or Wilmer, you are next in line to see what could be a tornado on the ground. Again, lifting to the north at about 40 miles per hour. And again, I mentioned this earlier, but this is going to pass very near Big Creek Lake. So if you are located near the dam, near Big Creek Lake Dam, which is near Tanner Williams, all that area right in through there, south of US Highway 90, we need you to be in your tornado safe place right now. Let's actually go back over to velocity, and I want to check and see how the signature is on this thing. And I tell you, there's just not much in the way of a signature, but I want to make sure before we call this sort of a weakening trend that it gets far enough from the radar that we can be certain of that. Again, this thing is so close to the radar that it probably is not getting a good vantage point of exactly what's going on. But nonetheless, the Weather Service office has triggered a tornado warning for central Mobile County in South Alabama, and this is valid until 5 o'clock local time. So again, current time is 4:27. We've got 33 more minutes on this tornado warning, and this is in effect until 5 o'clock. I think at this point it is safe to say, let me have one more look. Yes, indeed, we can give an all clear at this point to areas at the Mobile Regional Airport. Same thing at Baker High School. If you live within, say, a mile, give or take, east and west of Baker High School there in central Mobile County, you get an all clear. However, folks in Sims, Tanner Williams, Lott, Millertown, you are still under the gun from what could be a possible tornado moving off to the north at about 40 miles per hour. And I say it's moving to the north, it's really moving to the north-northwest, as have all the storms today. We will go back over to the reflectivity here, and this is a small thunderstorm. It is not raining right now across much of the Mobile Metro. Yes, there are some showers near Pritchard and also near areas near Crichton and Midtown, but across much of the Metro in Mobile, it is dry. We do note that there are some storms near the eastern shore, near Daphne, Montrose, Fairhope. Also got a storm right over Spanish Fort right now, a brief heavy downpour of rain happening at Spanish Fort, but these storms on the eastern shore are below severe limits. So again, we are here because of this tornado warned storm happening right now in Mobile County as this supercell thunderstorm lifts off to the north at about 40 miles per hour. Let's actually have a wide view quickly across the region just so we can kind of see what's going on elsewhere. And we do have a severe thunderstorm warning that continues for the next few minutes for the far northwestern part of Clark County out towards Morven, Campbell, Cunningham, and also Coffeyville. Same thing in Choctaw County. The core of that thunderstorm is actually lifting into Marengo County near Aimwell, also near Sweetwater, and the tiny community of Nanaphalaya there in the southwestern part of Marengo County. Looks like the core of that storm that could be producing damaging straight line winds will pass a bit to the east of Butler there. And the line that you see connecting Sweetwater over to Butler is actually Alabama Highway 10. So no travel right now on Alabama Highway 10 from Butler back over to Dixon's Mills and also Sweetwater. Again, that's a severe thunderstorm warning. We will ultimately lose that to the Montgomery television market. Again, if you are in Marengo County, you need to be watching the folks in Montgomery. Those are your meteorologists that cover your county in Marengo County. However, if you are in Mobile County, you belong to us, and that's why we are here, bringing you this uninterrupted live tornado warning coverage, because we have an active tornado warning polygon until 5 o'clock for central Mobile County. Millertown, Sims, also there's a community right in through here called Lott. If you live in those areas, be sure to get sheltered. What does that mean? It means lowest floor of a site-built structure. You cannot be in a mobile home, and you can't be obviously outside or in a car. Mobile homes and cars are the two number one and number two places that we lose people during times of tornadoes in the state of Alabama. So again, absolutely no travel during this tornado, or possible tornado, I should say, from, say, Orchard all the way back up to Wilmer, and that's on US Highway 90. So US Highway 90, no travel right now due to this possible tornado. Also, we can say no travel on US Highway 45 from basically the interstate all the way back up to Citronelle, as you have a tornado warning that continues. By the way, that includes communities like Russell, Gulfcrest, areas near Chinchula and Mauvilla under an active tornado warning as of 4:31 p.m. This cell out ahead of your main supercell down here near the radar site is also producing very heavy rain along the U.S. Highway 45 corridor there, extending back over to Earlville. But the core risk of a tornado is actually very near the U.S. Highway 90 corridor right now, near Sims, and also just to the east of Wilmer. Let's actually zoom in pretty tight, and you can kind of see that classic hook echo shape on the reflectivity product. Let's actually kind of draw it out here for you here. When you start getting a signature on the reflectivity product with a little hook on the end like that, that lets us know that this thunderstorm is not only rotating, but it also could very well be producing a tornado right about there. X marks the spot. And again, this thing is traveling to the north. And so what that means is this will probably cross the U.S. Highway 90 corridor in the next few moments, just like that, if it has not already. In fact, we need to check on the velocity product here to see exactly how strong this storm is as it kind of lifts away from the radar. I think we'll be able to get a better vantage point. And the signature is not that impressive. It's there, no doubt about it, and I definitely see why the National Weather Service chose to opt for a tornado warning as opposed to a severe thunderstorm warning. You can see that area of green in the middle part of your screen along that darker gray line. That's Highway 90, U.S. Highway 90, that connects Sims up to Wilmer. And this area of circulation is going to cross Highway 90 and ultimately cross the railroad tracks just north of Sims there and emerge into a very rural part of Mobile County up to the north of Lott. But again, if you are in Lott or Millertown, areas near Wilmore or Sims, I need you to stay in that tornado hiding place for the next few minutes as we have a strong indication of a tornado very near Sims right now, lifting off to the north at about 40 miles per hour. Again, we said this a minute ago, but perhaps you're just tuning in. We can give an all clear at this point to areas near the Mobile Regional Airport. Also, on the campus of the University of South Alabama, you get an all clear. The tornado risk has clearly lifted to your north, and it is safe to come out of that tornado safe place right now. Again, areas near USA, we can also give an all clear to Tillman's Corner, Theodore, Dees, also Dawes, areas near Azalea Road, which is on the western flank of the Mobile Metro. You are okay to come out of that tornado hiding place as this supercell storm continues lifting off to the north. Let's have a quick check of this storm up in Clark County that's about to cross into Marengo County. That is now out of our area officially, but this is a storm that we also need to watch here in West Alabama. I'll zoom in briefly on this. And again, areas near Butler, Pennington, the big Georgia Pacific paper mill there in Pennington. You've also got Aimwell, Sweetwater, and the tiny community of Nanaphalaya in the far southwestern flank of Marengo County. Severe thunderstorm warning for those areas and areas really across the Tom Bigby and Choctaw County under the warning officially until 4:45 p.m. But that has since cleared out of Clark County, and so that has become the responsibility of the TV stations in Montgomery, which is what the folks in Marengo County should be watching. Again, we are here because of this active tornado warning for parts of central Mobile County. What happened about, say, 20 minutes ago, in fact, we'll back the radar up and loop this for you one or two times. The system was down around Dees and also near Tillman's Corner in the southern part of Mobile County. And this storm has been rotating. And so what happened about 20 minutes ago, the Weather Service in their assessment opted to issue a tornado warning for central Mobile County because in their assessment, they thought that this storm was strong enough potentially to produce a tornado. No doubt about it, the signature has broadened out somewhat over the last 20 minutes since that time of the initial issuance of the warning. But this is going to be a pretty representative situation of what might happen over the next few hours. The severe weather risk is not going away. What's happened in the last few minutes, the Storm Prediction Center has extended the tornado watch for parts of Baldwin, Mobile, Washington, Clark, and Choctaw counties in West Alabama. So again, tornado watch continues until 10 o'clock local time for basically all 5 of our West Alabama counties: Choctaw, Clark, Washington, Mobile, and Baldwin. And that's because of all these tiny little supercell or developing supercell storms that continue training off to the north at a pretty rapid clip, about 40 miles per hour in most cases. But the only one that happens to be above severe limits as of this moment is here in the central part of Mobile County. We'll zoom in. And again, for folks in Millertown, areas near Sims, give me about 5 more minutes and I'll be able to give you an all clear, as this circulation will have lifted to your north toward the tiny community of Georgetown, which is next in line. That's really going to be in the heart of this tornado warning polygon. And generally, the closer you are to the center of the polygon, your threat sort of substantially increases. Whereas folks on the fringe of the polygon, the tornado warning polygon, are generally in a bit less danger due to an imminent tornado threat. So again, right up the pike here, right up the U.S. Highway 45 corridor, this is going to make a beeline for Georgetown and also Citronelle. Now, we'll have to see in the next few minutes if it holds its strength, and I want to check on the velocity. And I tell you, that has weakened over the last, say, 5 frames, but now I'm beginning to see somewhat of a strengthening trend. We'll zoom in here, and you see where those pixels are tight together. In other words, the greens and the reds. Let me kind of annotate it here for you. That would be the northern periphery of the circulation, and then on the south side, that would be the southern periphery of this mesocyclone. Not to get all super nerdy and technical, but when you see an indication like this on radar, that is, the radar cannot see a tornado, but it can see what's called the parent mesocyclone above this tornado. And so this is a large blob in the clouds that is rotating that could be producing perhaps a funnel cloud that may reach the ground. And obviously, when the funnel cloud reaches the ground, it becomes a tornado. That's when we have issues. And the Weather Service has opted in their assessment to continue this tornado warning. In fact, I think we just got some new text in from the Weather Service. So let me zoom out on radar and pull that up so we can kind of view it together. Again, the tornado warning is in effect until 5 o'clock local time, and the motion on that is still, again, to the north at about 37 or 40 miles per hour. And yeah, I'm not seeing anything that suggests that the Weather Service is seeing a tornado down. However, they are saying that there could be a possible tornado near Sims, or about 11 miles west of Saraland. Let me also mention that this cell is clearly going to miss Pritchard, Satsuma, Saraland, Creola, and Axis to the west. And so if you are in those communities that I just called out, Axis, Creola, Saraland, Satsuma, Pritchard, you are out of the polygon. You've never been included in this tornado warning polygon that is valid on the board until 5 o'clock local time. Again, there's your reflectivity view, which is what you know as the classic radar. And you can kind of see that kidney bean shape on this supercell thunderstorm. Let me zoom in and kind of show you that in action. Again, when you start seeing this curvature right in through there, and it looks sort of like a U as opposed to just a general blob, that lets us know that this thunderstorm is rotating. And again, it's moving up to the north towards Georgetown there, along the, or really it's north of the U.S. Highway 90 corridor at this point, moving into areas near Chinchula and Georgetown. So again, that's the general storm structure. All right, we got a new tornado warning that we need to tell you about. This is going to be a brand new one, and it's going to be for Washington County. So here's what I want to do. Let's actually zoom out, and we'll show you the new warning polygon. I don't know if this is going to be an extension or if this is going to be, nope, this is going to be a brand new one. And so this is going to be for areas near Chatham. So we now have 2 active tornado warnings that we are tracking here in South Alabama and Northwest Florida. These are 2 separate warnings. And so what I want to do, we want to bounce between the 2. Let me actually get out our RedZone weather text notification here because this is going to be for Washington County in the western part of Alabama. And this is going to be until 5:30 local time. Just looking at our feeds here to see if we got any reports of damage. I'm not seeing any damage down in Mobile County. But again, if you are just now joining us, the current time is 4:41 p.m. I'm meteorologist Spinks Megginson. We are tracking two, not one, but two separate tornado-warned storms here in southwest Alabama, over in the far southwestern part of the state. And both of them at this point are really entering rural parts of West Alabama. We'll zoom in first to our new warning. This is the brand new one that has just come on the board for areas near Chatham and also Tibby. The calls to action. If I call your community out next, you are involved in this active tornado warning, and we need you to do something about it, meaning we need you to get to the lowest floor of your site-built structure away from windows and doors. So here's the communities involved in the new warning that's valid for Washington County. And again, this tornado warning polygon is going to be valid until 5:30 local time. You've got Chatham, areas near the Roy Wilcox Airport, which is on the eastern side of Chatham, Tibby, also Bigby, Jordan, Yarbo, Milry, Silver Cross, also Frankville, also St. Stephen's, yet again under a new tornado warning that is valid until 5:30 local time. So again, that's Washington County. That's tornado warning number one. Let's go down to tornado warning number two, down here in the Mobile. Actually, it's north of the Mobile Metro at this point. This is in Mobile County, and it's moving off to the north. And there's your possible tornado out towards Millertown and Georgetown, coming into areas near Chinchula over the next 5 minutes or so. So again, we're tracking two tornado-warned storms. One is in Washington County. One is in Mobile County approaching Georgetown. We can at this point give Wilmer an all clear. So if you are in Sims or Wilmer, again, Sims or Wilmer, you get an all clear. You can go about your business. The tornado risk for you has come to an end as of 4:43 p.m. We can clear you out and you can go about your lives and not have to worry about an imminent tornado threat. Now, I will say the entirety of Mobile County, along with Clark, Baldwin, Washington, and Choctaw counties, remain involved in an active tornado watch. Then that's on the board until 10 o'clock. So what that means is we may have more tornado warnings before the end of the night. You got to have a way to receive the warnings before you go to sleep. These tornadoes are not going to be down very long, but nonetheless, if a tornado affects you, it's obviously a big deal. So again, the call to action is here in the northern part of Mobile County near Georgetown, coming into Citronelle, and same thing at Gulfcrest. If you are in Gulfcrest along Highway 45 there, we need you to be sheltered. You should have been sheltered about 20 minutes ago, but perhaps you're just now tuning in and you're in Gulfcrest or Citronelle. We need you to absolutely do something about it as this possible tornado continues chugging to the north. By the way, it's located down around Lott and also in areas near Millertown, coming into Georgetown right now. This is a pretty zoomed in view of the radar there. Possible tornado is near or just south of Georgetown. But while we look at that, let's go up here to our other tornado warned storm, and let's actually check out the velocity on that because we have not done that yet. And yeah, no doubt about it, the Weather Service has made a good call in issuing a tornado warning for this blip on the radar right there. Now, I know it may not look like much to you, but if you're involved in this active tornado warning, this is a big deal because there could be a possible tornado near the Roy Wilcox Airport happening basically right now, coming into areas near Chatham. So again, if you are at Chatham, you need to be in that tornado safe place now, right now. Don't wait. It's a big deal. This could be a tornado that could be damaging property or worse. And so we don't want you affected negatively or adversely by that. You got to do something about it if you are in Chatham. This is going to be basically paralleling the Alabama Highway 17 corridor near the tiny community of Jordan, Yarbo, Loper, and also Milry. That line that connects those roads there in the middle part of your screen, that is Alabama Highway 17, which is your main north-south thoroughfare in West Alabama in Washington County. Let's go back down to our Mobile County storm. This one has weakened somewhat, and I wouldn't be shocked if in the next few minutes the Weather Service actually cancels that or allows it to expire at 5 o'clock. That is another option that they have at their disposal. And we'll look and see. This is, again, in effect until 5 o'clock. And as of 4:42, which was 4 minutes ago, we actually just got a report of now a confirmed tornado. So despite what you're seeing here on radar with the trends, we now have a confirmed report of a tornado in Mobile County. And again, this is going to be likely near Millertown and Georgetown in the northern part of Mobile County. This has come on the board in the last few moments. Again, a law enforcement confirmed tornado on the ground right now near Georgetown. Can't stress it enough. If you are at Georgetown or you know someone there, call them and let them know that they are involved in an active tornado warning valid until 5 o'clock. And so with that said, there is a good chance we may see a continuation. I'm actually getting some new text in from the Weather Service. Let's pull that up and see what that's about. These messages from the Weather Service are actually encrypted, and so it takes them a minute to decrypt, I guess you could say, with the system from the U.S. government being quite entailed, being able to get into our NWS chat system. But again, nonetheless, you are watching live tornado warning coverage originating remotely on this Friday afternoon, as we have 2 active tornado warnings that continue until 5 o'clock for northern Mobile County and also 5:30 p.m. for the central and northern parts of Washington County in West Alabama. Current time is 4:48 p.m. I'm meteorologist Spinks Megginson, and I'm on the road today. But because we have active tornado warnings, we provide our uninterrupted coverage to bring you the very latest, committed to you during times of severe weather. Let's zoom into Chatham here, because I tell you what, this thing is right over the community of Chatham, which is the county seat of Washington County. So again, possible tornado is really out on the eastern flank of Chatham. And this tornado warning is in effect until 5:30 local time. This is going to approach Ellisville, which is a community to the north of Chatham. Ellisville actually sits a bit to the east of Alabama Highway 17. So again, if you are in Ellisville, we certainly need you to take shelter right now as this possible tornado continues moving off to the north. Let's actually look at these other cells quickly down here in Mobile and Baldwin counties, because these could be our next hotspots that develop into potentially tornado producing storms, I should say. So you see one. Here's one near Tanner Williams. You've got one down here to the west of Tillman's Corner approaching Big Creek Lake, and really some other supercell storms to the southwest of Bay Minette out towards the Dolly Parton Bridge of Interstate 65. All of those storms are lifting to the north-northwest, just like these 2 tornado warning storms that we've got over in West Alabama. So again, the one that we're most worried about right now is clearly this one in the northern part of Mobile County, coming into areas near Russell and Gulf Crest and Citronelle. Classic hook echo. I mean, it doesn't get much more classic than that. With the signature there on reflectivity, certainly supporting what the law enforcement officer saw, in that law enforcement actually confirmed a tornado down around Lott and Sims about 20 minutes ago. And that's according to the National Weather Service text that we got from them a minute ago. Let me actually pull that up again, because we want to read you the absolute latest information that we can. And what the Weather Service is calling this an extremely dangerous situation. In fact, we actually, I believe, are getting a brand new tornado warning. Yes, and you see the polygon popping up on your screen there. This is going to be a continuation of the warning. And so what's happened here, we now have 3 active tornado warnings for southwest Alabama and northwest Florida. Let's take them bit by bit so we can give you the very latest information. First things first, let's look at this one up around Chatham. Tornado warning polygon number 1 is because of a possible tornado near the Roy Wilcox Airport to the east of Chatham approaching areas like Ellisville and Frankville in Washington County. If you are in those two communities, we need you to get sheltered right now. Again, lowest floor, site-built structure, away from windows and doors, putting as many walls as you possibly can between you and the outside world. Just looking at a few other things here as we get more warnings on the board. And I tell you, it has been a very, very active weather day thus far. What we're going to do is send out another Red Zone Weather app alert for our folks at Mobile County. And we actually just did that. So again, that's tornado warning polygon number 1. Here's your other tornado warning polygon, and this is for Mobile County. We have now a confirmed tornado on the ground that has come out of areas near Baker High School and Sims and moved north, approaching the U.S. Highway 45 corridor near Gulfcrest and Chinchula. So again, now a confirmed tornado. Let's zoom in on this. And let me stress again, for those of you that just may be tuning in, there is no active tornado warning for any part of the Mobile metro area. So again, let's be clear, at Mobile metro, Pritchard, areas near Theodore, you are now out of the tornado warning, and it is not for you. This is specifically for areas here in the northern part of Mobile County, and now Washington County is again under the gun from this same tornado warned storm in northern Mobile County. So we're going to be here quite a while as our tornado warning coverage continues here in West Alabama. Again, current time is 4:53 p.m. This new warning is going to be in effect until 5:30. And now we actually have a new tornado warning to tell you about. In addition to these 3 that we've been talking about, we have a new tornado warning for parts of Choctaw County. So we'll go up there super quickly and show you this. Choctaw County actually is out of our primary coverage area by 1 county, and there's your new warning. Just to show you, if you are in Needham, Butler, Lisman, Gilbertown, Silas, or Toxie, you are now involved in the latest tornado warning. We got 4 of them, 4 tornado warnings as of 4:53 p.m. Here's tornado warning number 1 for Choctaw County. Again, basically the entirety of Choctaw County under a tornado warning due to a possible tornado near Silas lifting off to the northeast. We've also got a tornado warning for Washington County. Strong storm near Chatham. Let's actually look at the velocity on this, and you'll see as we zoom in here that your possible tornado is very near the Alabama Highway Alabama Highway 17 corridor there in central Washington County. Very tiny community of Jordan, Ellisville, Yarbo. This is where the possible tornado in Washington County is right now. Again, we've got 3 separate circulations that has prompted 4 separate warnings. So again, if you're in Washington County, the main call to action at this point is Ellisville, Yarbo, and Jordan. All right, same thing at Chatham. Stay in that tornado hiding place if you are at Chatham. Let's go down into Mobile County because that's where clearly the strongest storm has been. And again, law enforcement confirmed a tornado on the ground moments ago. That was back when the cell was near places like Sims and Millertown down here, and also Georgetown. Again, if you are at Millertown, Wilmer, or Georgetown, we can give you actually for Wilmer and Millertown, we can give you an all clear. The actual tornado is now very near Georgetown, actually kind of splitting the difference between Gulfcrest and Georgetown, moving off to the north. This line that you see where you see the words Gulfcrest down to Chinchula, that big thicker gray line is actually U.S. Highway 45. So absolutely no travel right now on U.S. Highway 45, extending from Citronelle back down to Chinchula as this possible tornado continues working its way to the north. We're also monitoring storms down here in Mobile County south of Interstate 10 that are under severe limits. We'll go back to the classic reflectivity view. And you can see we've got a storm out near Tanner Williams. We've also got storms near Bay Minette and just to the north of Bay Minette along the Interstate 65 corridor, extending from near the Bay Minette and Stockton exit back down across the causeway, which becomes the Dolly Parton Bridge, over to Creola. That storm is lifting off to the north as well. So let's kind of do a reset here because I know we've got a lot going on. Thanks so much for watching our coverage on this Friday afternoon. Current time is almost 5 o'clock, and we have three, count them, three separate tornado warnings that are in effect this afternoon for parts of South Alabama, really West Alabama at this point. And let me stress, again, if you are in Butler, Covington, Monroe, Conecuh, Escambia, also any of our Northwest Florida communities, you are okay. The warnings are in West Alabama, and they're going to remain that way. And I realize that we've got many folks getting off work in the Mobile metro, but this tornado in Mobile County, clearly the most pressing matter at the moment in terms of storm intensity. This storm is clearly going to miss the Mobile metro off to the northwest. So again, no issues right now in Mobile, Pritchard, areas near Saraland or Satsuma. The big issues are up here near Gulf Crest, Citronelle, also areas near Chinchula, and you see that classic hook echo on radar. In fact, we'll kind of draw it out for you here. There's that hook. And when you see that on the reflectivity view in combination with the velocity view, that lets us know that there is rotation in the skies. And in this case, the rotation has prompted a tornado warning that has produced damage. We've had a confirmed tornado, confirmed by law enforcement in the last few minutes. We actually have now another tornado warning, and this is going to be for parts of Baldwin County. So now it's been some time since we've had this many tornado warnings on the board. Big tornado warning for parts of Baldwin and Mobile counties. And so I realized I said that the Mobile metro was not under a warning a minute ago. That has now changed, and the downtown areas of Mobile are now under a tornado warning. So again, new tornado warning. And this is going to be, I believe, until 5:45. Yes, 5:45 for downtown Mobile, also Pritchard. You've also got areas near Creola, Saraland, and Blakely State Park included in this tornado warning. Areas near the Mobile River also included. And we are sending this to our folks in Mobile County. And also, again, Baldwin County, also now under the gun from this possible tornado that is going to be located near the Cochran Africatown Bridge. If you know where that is, this is a situation where we have a possible tornado lifting to the north. And so the call to action on this is going to be areas near Saraland, also Satsuma, Creola, coming up the pike here on U.S. Highway 43 toward Creola, Axis, Salco, and Chastain. Big tornado warning polygon, and this is the cell down in through here, currently situated near Pritchard. Let's zoom in, and you'll see that the core of this tornado risk is actually near or just to the east of Chickasaw and Pritchard. And again, I know that where the railroads come in down there, that's very near the Mobile River Delta. I think that the core of this tornado risk is going to pass over the Delta and not the highly populated areas of Pritchard or Chickasaw, which is certainly good news. But again, the deal is because you have an active tornado warning in Chickasaw, Pritchard, areas near Saraland, Mobile, we need you sheltered right now as this possible tornado is on your doorstep. So again, this gets a little confusing because we actually have two separate tornado warning polygons in place for Mobile County, and I realize that can be a bit confusing. Let's actually zoom in on this one. And again, areas near the Highway 45 corridor near Citronelle. That's going to be the areas under the gun. from what could be a sizable tornado. This one was confirmed about 20 minutes ago by law enforcement. We have no way of knowing if it's still on the ground, but I can tell you that the signature is certainly still there. So again, possible tornado near Gulf Crest. We've also got a possible tornado separate, by the way, out here just to the east of Pritchard, approaching the Dolly Parton Bridge. You see this area of green there on the map where it says Dolly Parton Bridge. Again, the circulation center, it appears, is going to miss the highly populated downtown Mobile area to the north. However, let's go back over to our reflectivity product and make sure, yeah, I'm not seeing any other development near downtown Mobile at the moment. So again, your core tornado risk with the storm currently near Pritchard is lifting off to the north. And it appears cautiously optimistic that the core of this risk should remain to the east of the population centers of Saraland and Satsuma. However, as a course of least regret, if I'm in Saraland, if I'm in Satsuma or Criolla, please, I can't tell you enough, get to that tornado safe place right now. Lowest floor of a site-built structure away from windows and doors. We want you to put as many walls as you possibly can between you and the outside world. Grab a helmet, something to protect your head. That is vital when we have a situation like this in the eastern part of Mobile County. So again, you've got tornado warning number 1 that includes Mount Vernon, Axis, Saraland, Satsuma, Criolla, downtown Mobile, Pritchard, Stockton, also areas near the Dolly Parton Bridge, also Bromley included in the tornado warning that's valid until, that one's going to be on the board until 5:45 local time, as you can see there. So that's the first tornado warning polygon, very highly populated area of Mobile County. Here's the other one. You've got a tornado warning for parts of northern Mobile County, totally separate. This is for Citronelle and areas near Gulf Crest. We'll zoom in on this one. Again, just kind of bouncing between the tornado warned storms. That's what we do when we have multiple warnings. And again, your possible tornado right now is very near Gulf Crest. We'll draw it on the map for you here. This is where your possible tornado is in Mobile County, and it's moving just like that. Now, I see that the arrow there is a bit to the west of Citronelle, but I don't want you to fall into the trap of thinking that it's going to miss Citronelle to the west. These things don't move in a straight line. They actually kind of wobble back and forth. And so, again, we're calling a tornado warning for areas near Citronelle along the U.S. Highway 45 corridor. Make it happen and get to the tornado safe place if you are near Citronelle or areas near Gulf Crest. Absolutely make it happen, as this is the storm that has a history of producing a tornado down around Sims. So that's tornado warning polygon number 2. Here is the third one, and this is going to be for areas north of Chatham out towards Jordan and Yarbo. We'll zoom in and change over to the velocity here. This has changed in structure somewhat. There definitely is rotation in the atmosphere over Ellisville and Yarbo, and we'll have to see if the Weather Service opts to extend this, but no doubt there is a new circulation center that has prompted a new warning for Washington County in the last few seconds. So this gets very confusing because we actually have parts of Washington County under 3 separate warnings. How's that? 3 separate tornado warnings for one county. That indeed is what's happening on this Friday evening. And I think that this circulation, let me have a look at this southern one. Yeah, no doubt about it. This middle one here in Washington County is the strongest storm that we have going on right now. And this is going to be for areas near Topton, Tibby, coming into Chatham. This is a strong indication of a tornado. And no doubt that this possible tornado is going to be near Tibby and areas near Chatham over the next few minutes. So again, please take this seriously if you are in Chatham or areas near the Roy Wilcox Airport there in Washington County. We need you to absolutely do something about it and be in that tornado safe place. So here's what I want to do. Let's actually go back to the reflectivity here. And we'll show you kind of a wide view across the region. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 active tornado warnings in progress for parts of South Alabama and Northwest Florida. We'll zoom in on the first one down here in Mobile County. Possible tornado is coming up in through areas near Saraland, Creola, and areas near the Dolly Parton Bridge. I want you to be in that tornado safe place if you are near Saraland. Absolutely make it happen and do something about it. Get to that tornado safe place if you are near Creola. Also areas near Axis, the community right here of Bucks, also Mount Vernon. We need you to be sheltered. Same thing up here, this other tornado warning. Citronelle, be sheltered. No doubt about it, this storm could be producing a tornado as well. The one that I'm most concerned about right now is for areas south of Chatham along the State Highway 17 corridor near Tibby. No doubt this is the strongest storm. And you can see this circulation center right in through here. We'll zoom in on it. This is going to be very near Seaboard, coming into Tibby along State Highway 17 in the next few minutes. Again, very rural part of West Alabama, but we know that there are people who live there, and we know that there are people who live there that watch our coverage. And so again, possible tornado coming into Tibby and Chatham over the next few minutes. Let's also have a brief check of this storm in Choctaw County. It doesn't look as formidable as it once did or as strong as it once did, but no doubt we need folks in Butler, Needham, Gilbertown, Silas, and Toxie in Choctaw County also to be in your tornado safe place, as we have a tornado warning for Choctaw County that is set to continue. Let's zoom into our folks here in Mobile County. I know we've got a lot of folks in Mobile who watch us not only in the RedZone Weather app, but also on Facebook Live. And here's the deal. This possible tornado is coming up towards the Dolly Parton Bridge. And so if you are traveling this evening, perhaps northbound on Interstate 65, we need you to pull over at Saraland. If you're traveling northbound, again, pull over at Saraland, get off the interstate at Saraland. If you're traveling southbound, what you need to do is get off before you get on the Dolly Parton Bridge at the Stockton exit, which is Alabama Highway 225, which is to the north of Bay Minette, south of Stockton. Again, be in that tornado safe place, as we have now a tornado warning that continues for much of eastern Mobile County. The storm in eastern Mobile County is sort of cycling somewhat, and I think that there's a good chance we'll see one of these circulation centers sort of take over and become the dominant circulation center. But again, we are here because of all these numerous tornado warnings that continue in West Alabama. I know we've got folks coming in the stream and going out of the stream, so I want to show you the wide view quickly and put this into motion, because I tell you what, it's been a very, very active weather day, very active day. Tornado warnings continue in parts of Choctaw, Washington, Mobile counties, and these are on the board until at least 5:30 p.m. So again, current time is coming up on 5:10 p.m. So at least 20 more minutes we will be here providing our nonstop coverage as we have active tornado warnings in progress. While we're looking at the wide view, I want to zoom in to Baldwin County, because we're going to check and see how these storms down here are doing and if they are going tornadic. I do see that this storm near Magnolia Springs is rotating, but there's no active warning as of now. So that certainly is some good news. And I have to be honest, these storms that are basically on top of the Mobile-Tensas River Delta, this is a deal where the cells just are not that strong. Now, we need to respect this situation and respect the tornado warning. And because of that, we want folks in Saraland, Axis, Chastang, also areas near Mount Vernon, the Dolly Parton Bridge, and also U.S. Highway 43 from Calvert back down to Mobile. All those areas that I just called out, you are involved in that active tornado warning that continues. That one is on the board until 5:45 local time. However, again, I will say, I think there's a good chance that the Weather Service cancels that, as I'm not seeing anything that would suggest strong rotation in those areas. Where the strong rotation is, however, is clearly here in northern Mobile County. We've also got a couplet, or in other words, an area of rotation in the atmosphere that could be producing a tornado near Seaboard. Another one also near Citronelle. It can't be stressed enough at this point. This possible tornado near Citronelle could be in the heart of Citronelle right now. So again, hang out in that tornado safe place, and we'll be able to give you an all clear in about 5 minutes if you are in Citronelle in the northern part of Mobile County. Now, we can give an all clear at this point to areas near Chinchula and Gulf Crest. The tornado risk for now has clearly passed you to the north, and no doubt that it is near Citronelle at this point. So again, what we're telling you is you can come out of the tornado safe place if you are at Gulf Crest or Chinchula or Millertown or Georgetown in Mobile County. Citronelle has to remain in the tornado safe place, all right? Same thing up here in Washington County, tracking this very nasty looking signature coming into Chatham. We'll go back to the velocity because that really tells the tale. This thing is very likely producing a tornado. We'll zoom back in here so you can get a better idea of just how intense this circulation is. When you start seeing these shades of brown and yellow, look at that. We're talking potentially 60, 70, 100 mile per hour winds. At least that's what the radar is seeing at about 2,000 feet above ground level, where it's hitting the hydrometeors in the atmosphere. So again, winds could be howling with this associated tornado in southern Washington County due to this possible tornado there near Tibby. So again, take this one very seriously if you are near Tibby. We actually have a brand new tornado warning to tell you about. This is going to be a separate deal, and this is going to be for Mobile and Washington County. So here's what I want to do. Let's zoom out, and we will see exactly who this is going to be for. This is going to be until 6 o'clock, and so current time is now 5:13 p.m. I'm meteorologist Spinks Megginson on location today. Thanks so much for watching our severe weather coverage. We are tracking numerous potential tornadoes in West Alabama. We have, let's count them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tornado warnings. Yes, 6 tornado warnings for parts of, and now we just lost one. Choctaw is now off the board. We can tell you Choctaw County gets an all clear. The tornado warning up there has just come off the board, and we can give folks in Butler, Needham, and Toxie an all clear. However, that still leaves us with 5 tornado warnings as of at 5:13 p.m. And we'll zoom in and show you this train of supercell thunderstorms that continues working its way to the north. Washington County has really taken a beating this afternoon in terms of their tornado warnings. Now, I have not received any confirmed reports of damage. However, I will say, based on the signature that's currently located near Tibby, that is the one that I'm most concerned about. And so I want to zoom in there. This is going to be coming into areas near Chatham in a matter of moments. So again, please, 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 if you are in Chatham, please be in that tornado safe place. And again, what I'm doing right now is getting out another RedZone weather app alert for our users in Washington County. This is a deal where we have a very nasty looking couplet on radar that could be producing a tornado very near Tibby, or perhaps just to the east of Tibby. And this is going to be working its way into areas near Chatham over the next, say, 10 minutes or so. The good news is down here in Mobile and Baldwin counties, we can give downtown Mobile an all clear. Let's go back over to the classic reflectivity view, and you'll see that downtown Mobile gets an all clear. Same thing at Pritchard, same thing at Chickasaw, Saraland as well. The tornado risk has clearly passed to your north at this point and has entered areas near Creola. I see a hook echo developing on radar. We'll zoom in there. You see the Dolly Parton Bridge on your map there. And where that text is, that is actually the tallest points of those bridges. So again, the Dolly Parton Bridge absolutely no travel on that bridge right now, as we could have a tornado just to the south of there near Creola, working its way to the north at about 40 miles per hour. These things are moving very quickly today, in some cases 40 to 50 miles per hour. So again, just watching this tornado warning storm in eastern Mobile County. We're also watching several other developing couplets here. There's another one that we've been watching over the last few frames. We'll zoom into Citronelle. And again, this thing is right over the community of Citronelle. So again, possible tornado at or over Citronelle at this point, moving off to the north at about 40 miles per hour. That's going to be in Washington County in a matter of moments. The same areas, by the way, that had the possible tornado about 20 minutes ago that is now approaching Chatham. We'll zoom in there, and you see this area of yellow and green. That very well could be a tornado. Let me look at the correlation coefficient, because that kind of tells the tale of where we have issues. And I want to zoom in. I'm seeing a suspicious area here just to the north of the Dolly Parton Bridge. Let's actually back that up and see if that is a tornadic debris signature. And based on the signature I'm seeing, let's actually go back over to velocity. I want to be able to confirm that for you or not. I tell you, it's very near an area that could be producing a tornado. So we may have a tornadic debris signature just to the north of the Dolly Parton Bridge. And just as I say that, we have a new tornado warning that has just popped up for western Mobile County. That's going to be valid until 6 o'clock. So again, 6 o'clock, possible tornado very near or approaching Wilmer, I should say, down here near Tanner Williams. We'll show you that briefly, because again, what we're doing is just bouncing around between all of these tornado warning storms. Here's your newest possible tornado. This is down around Tanner Williams, and it's going to be moving towards Wilmer. And so what that means is, if you are along the U.S. Highway 90 corridor between Sims and the Mississippi state line, really Sims to Loosedale, we advise no travel on U.S. Highway 90 at this point, as your possible tornado number 1 is down here near Tanner Williams, moving off to the northeast at this point at about 40 miles per hour. And yes, Wilmer is included in a new tornado warning polygon that is on the board until 6 o'clock local time. So this is a bit confusing. We actually have 3 separate tornado warning storms in progress for parts of Mobile County. And again, that can be a little confusing. So let's kind of break it down bit by bit, just to give you an option of, or just to give you an explanation of what is going on. Again, possible tornado number 1 is near Tanner Williams, moving towards Wilmer. Possible tornado number 2 has now lifted north of Saraland and is approaching areas near Creola and also the Dolly Parton Bridge. We'll zoom in there so you can see this is an area of concern that's basically paralleling the U.S. Highway 43 corridor in the eastern part of Mobile County. Here's some good news, though. We can give Saraland an all clear. So if you are in Saraland, you get an all clear for now. Same thing at Pritchard, same thing at downtown Mobile. Pritchard and downtown Mobile and Crichton, you are not involved in an active tornado warning as of 5:19 p.m. local time. That's your current time. We'll go to the wide view briefly to show you, man, oh man, look at all those tornado warnings in West Alabama. So many storms that are rotating, and the Weather Service is doing a remarkable job of keeping up with all of the possible tornadoes that we've gotten through here. Let's go up into Washington County. This storm approaching Chatham and the Roy Wilcox Airport is weaker than it once was, but no doubt it is still a very powerful thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado very near Chatham and the Roy Wilcox Airport. And so we want you to stay in that tornado hiding place over the next few minutes if you are in Chatham or areas near the Roy Wilcox Airport. Let's actually go back over to our reflectivity product. And look, even though we may lose these tornado warnings, I'm afraid that we may have more issues over the next few hours. A tornado watch does continue for the entirety of Clark, Washington, Baldwin, and Mobile counties in West Alabama until 10 p.m. tonight. So again, 10 p.m. you got a tornado watch for all 4 of those counties, in addition to Choctaw County in West Alabama. So again, this thing is not going away in terms of this severe weather risk over the next few hours. You got to have a way to receive warnings. And we're actually looking at some text here from the Weather Service that continues to suggest that the storm near Citronelle could be producing perhaps a large tornado. I'm just checking our sources here. If I go silent again, just bear with me for a moment, and we will resume our coverage. Again, the Weather Service in their assessment continues to call this a potentially large and significant tornado happening near Citronelle, moving into areas in Washington County near the Boykin Wildlife Management Area. That's also near Sims Chapel and the tiny community of Dwight. What happens is when you drive northbound on Highway 45, you actually drive from Mobile County into Washington County, and you instantly go into the community called Dwight. This possible tornado is very near Dwight and also the Boykin Wildlife Management Area right now. The cell is moving off to the north at about 40 miles per hour. Let's actually check on this other storm over near Creola. We'll zoom in there. This has passed Interstate 65 at this point. I would not be surprised if travelers along Interstate 65 look to the north from the Dolly Parton Bridge and are able to see perhaps a tornado near Axis and near Salco on the U.S. Highway 43 corridor. In other words, if you're traveling southbound on the Dolly Parton Bridge, which is Interstate 65, there's a good chance that there's a tornado north of the bridge there, near Axis along the U.S. Highway 43 corridor. We've also got storms firing over here in the western part of Mobile County. Let's zoom in there. And this storm is going to be moving into Wilmer and Moffattville over the next 10 to 15 minutes. So again, Moffattville, Wilmer, areas near Earlville, which is a very tiny community, near Boothtown, I should say, in northern Mobile County. Those are the areas under the gun from this tornado warning, which is totally separate than the one on the eastern side of Mobile County. I want to go back up to Washington County and look at the velocity, because again, we could have multiple tornado warnings on the ground perhaps in Washington County right now, the most concerning of which is approaching the Alabama Highway 56 corridor between Chatham and Wagerville, very near the Chatham Airport, which is the Roy Wilcox Airport. They are just to the east of town in Chatham. By the way, if you have any weather questions, let me know in the comments below, and I'll try to get to those in just a little bit. Again, we are here because of these active tornado warnings, mainly in Washington County. Those are the main concerns right now, but these storms in Mobile County have prompted tornado warnings near Wilmer, also near the community of Axis, also Salco, and Mount Vernon. If you're in Mount Vernon, you are involved in an active tornado warning. I haven't said Mount Vernon because it's been kind of farther north, but again, Chastain, Mount Vernon, also Berry Village, Salco, and Axis. No doubt that a possible tornado could be right about there and lifting off to the north just like that. That's the motion of the storm. And again, this is now north of the interstate, so we can give an all clear at this point to Interstate 65. You're clear to travel northbound on 65 out of Saraland all the way back up to Bay Minette, and from Bay Minette back down to Saraland, southbound on Interstate 65. We can give you an all clear to travel on 65 at this point. Again, just looking at our other sources here, and I'm not seeing anything that would suggest that we have an imminent tornado threat in Baldwin County. I'm actually looking to a different source here, and yes, these tiny storms are wanting to rotate, as has been the case over the last few hours, but these storms in Baldwin County are below severe limits. You're going to get some rain over the next few minutes in Fairhope, in Daphne, areas near Silver Hill, and also coming into Summerdale and Robertsdale with a separate storm. But these storms that I just mentioned there are below severe limits. You see how storms are kind of racing off to the north at about 30 or 45 miles per hour. And, I don't recall a situation over the last few years where we have had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tornado warning polygons. I tell you, if I would have thought that would have been a possibility that we had 6 tornado polygons at once, I would have certainly postponed my out-of-town obligations. But that is not the case. And again, we are so fortunate to be able to have a system in place where we can broadcast to you remotely from basically anywhere. So that's a blessing. And again, we want to thank you for watching our coverage on this Friday evening now. 5:26 is the current time. We'll go back over to velocity here and check it out to see where our core rotation areas are. We got a continuation of the tornado warning for parts of George and Greene County and Mobile County, which is going to be this southern storm here. Let's actually zoom in here to these areas, because again, we want to check on velocity if we can do that. Switching from the reflectivity to velocity, there we go. And again, your core tornado risk at the moment is going to be crossing into Washington County near Sims Chapel and also near the Boykin Wildlife Management area. And please understand, when we get one of these tornadoes on the ground, most likely what is going to happen is they won't stay down very long. They could be intense tornadoes at times, but again, the core risk is clearly going to be from these brief spin-up tornadoes that don't last very long at all. We're getting the new velocity sweep in, and the radar will be able to display that shortly. In fact, let's go back over to our reflectivity, or there's the velocity. And I tell you, that thing in Washington County, we'll zoom in on this. That one is certainly ominous, to say the least. And this has now crossed the Alabama Highway 56 corridor near Chatham. We've been calling that out for several minutes. And it looks like the core tornado risk with this is going to pass to the east of Chatham. So again, possible tornado is very near the Chatham Airport, which is the Roy Wilcox Airport there on the eastern side of Chatham. The possible tornado is actually about, say, 5 miles or maybe even 3 miles to the east of Alabama Highway 17, which is the main north-south thoroughfare there in Washington County. But this storm down here in the southern part of the county is also mighty ominous as it comes through areas like Sims Chapel. So again, watching that one very carefully as well. We'll zoom out a bit and show you that right now this storm near Axis, we'll zoom into that one. That storm is now a bit weaker based on the radar signature, at least on the western flank of the storm. But as I zoom in, I'm seeing these inbound and outbound pixels that are very close together, perhaps indicating a very strong couplet near the Berry Steam Plant. If you know where that is, if you look north from the Dolly Parton Bridge, you can actually see the smokestacks of the Berry Steam Plant there. And near those smokestacks, in other words, near the power plant that is the Berry Steam Plant, this is where that possible tornado is in the eastern part of Mobile County right now. By the way, if you're at Wilmer or Earlville in the western part of Mobile County, we need you to also be in your tornado safe place now, as we have a situation a storm, I should say, that could be producing a tornado very near Wilmer. We'll go back over to the classic radar view. And we'll zoom in. By the way, I should mention as well, the tropical storm that we are tracking in the Gulf of Mexico, Olga, that storm is not going to have any significant impact on our area other than heavy rain. Now, we do want to note that the Storm Prediction Center has included our area in a level 1 out of 5 marginal severe weather risk valid for Saturday. And so we could have a few more strong storms in here on Saturday. We'll obviously keep you posted about it all in the RedZone weather app. But again, we are here because of now 4 active tornado warning polygons. The Weather Service has kind of cleaned this up a little bit, and we now have 4 active tornado warning polygons for parts of Washington and Mobile counties. I realize technically that Baldwin County is included, at least a very small part of the county out to the west of Vaughn and Latham. That's west of the Alabama 59 corridor. But if you're in Baldwin County, you are okay. This tornado warning does not include areas near Spanish Fort. It does not include Fairhope. It really doesn't include any major population centers. It only includes marshland and fishing camps out near Vaughn and Latham. Again, you can kind of see the hook structure on reflectivity there of this possible tornado that's near Berry Village and also near Chastain in the northeastern part of Mobile County. Again, this storm is moving off to the north at about 40 miles per hour. These storms mean business today. They are not taking their time. They're moving very quickly to the north. And on that trajectory, there's a chance this could get into Washington County and potentially cause another tornado warning there. Washington County has really just taken the brunt of the tornado warnings today. I tell you what, if you are in Chatham, you were under a tornado warning earlier, and you're actually still under an active tornado warning right now. We'll zoom in there and show you the velocity product. And it looks like, I tell you, this thing has strengthened yet again. It's cycling up, it's cycling down, and we are getting these brief cycles where these storms are potentially producing tornadoes. This could be producing a tornado near Chatham or the Chatham Airport, which is the Roy Wilcox Airport. However, the good news is I can give an all clear at this point to the State Highway 56 corridor. Now, I will say, yes, we're giving you an all clear, but we're also monitoring this storm to your south. You see the line that separates or connects, I should say, Chatham over to Wagerville. That's Alabama Highway 56. And so while you get an all clear right now, there could be another tornado warning in about 10 minutes issued for Chatham and State Highway 56. So be aware of that if you're traveling this evening in Washington County. Just looking at a few of the things here to see what we've got going on. Reports of debris falling out of the sky near Cottage Hill about 20 minutes ago. That's going to be from that tornado that first prompted us to come on the air about an hour ago now, I think it was. And by the way, I'm getting a report from our downlink system that connects our audio. If we lose you, the Facebook live stream will remain up. But if my video stream here goes out, just know we will try to get that back up. Again, the live feed won't end, but here on Facebook, but my video system, because it's connected to satellites, that can sometimes go in and out. So again, bear with me. If we lose you, we'll come back. What I'm trying to do right now is get back to our radar product here. And there we go. There's your current radar view. We'll put this in motion for you so that you can see storms have been quite numerous today across West Alabama. Numerous tornado warnings over the last several hours, and likely more to come in the hours ahead. This is probably not going to be an all-night event, but it also will probably be an event that lasts into the evening hours. Now, if you're in Brewton, if you're in Monroeville, Evergreen, I'm not expecting issues for now in those zones. But again, because we have active tornado warnings, our live coverage is set to continue for the next little bit due to these 4 tornado warned storms. So again, let's kind of do a reset here as I zoom in for you to get the latest information about what is going on. Chatham, Millry, areas near Sims Chapel, also Tibby, areas near Mount Vernon, also areas coming into Calvert, Wilmer, Earlville, Moffattville. If you are in any of the communities I just called out, you are now involved in an active tornado warning that is valid at least until 5:45 local time. Most of these warnings are in effect until 6 o'clock. But again, the big deal is because we have these tornado warnings that continue in West Alabama. So let's take it bit by bit. We'll zoom in here and show you your first tornado warning. This is near Mount Vernon, and this possible tornado could be approaching Mount Vernon from the south. It's moving to the north at about 37, 38 miles an hour. And again, on that trajectory, affecting Mount Vernon and Calvert in the next 10 to 15 minutes. Also affecting areas near Chastain right now. So if you're in Chastain, we need you to get to the lowest floor, site-built structure, away from windows and doors, putting as many walls as you possibly can between you and the outside world. Grab a helmet if you're in Mount Vernon. Do something about it. Put as many walls as you can between you and that outside potential tornado. Here's another storm in western Mobile County that we're tracking near Moffattville. Clearly, the tornado risk has sort of moved north of Wilmer, but I'm not confident enough just yet to give an all clear in Wilmer. So again, 2 more minutes and I'll be able to give you an all clear in Wilmer as this possible tornado moves north towards Earlville and Boothtown in the far eastern part of Mobile County. Here's our other tornado warning: Seaboard and Topton in Washington County. You are involved in this tornado warning that's going to be valid until 6 o'clock. Also, Tibby involved as well. Let's actually go back over to the velocity product. And this circulation has broadened out somewhat, but like we've been cautioning over the last few hours, they cycle up, they cycle down. And so just because it's cycled down at this point, that doesn't mean that the tornado warning is going to go away. Now, if you're at Chatham, I can give you a temporary all clear. If you are at Chatham, or in Chatham, I should say, this is a deal where the tornado has lifted to your north and is basically east of Jordan at this point. So again, we're giving Chatham an all clear, and we're watching these other tornado warned storms across parts of Mobile County. And again, if I go silent, just bear with me for a minute. We're not going to leave you unless we absolutely have to, and I don't foresee that happening. So just, again, hang tight for a second as I check our other sources. And we're getting reports of a funnel cloud happening in West Mobile. That's going to be about an hour ago. And again, tornado warnings continue for parts of Mobile and Washington County on this Friday evening. Let's actually turn on the radar data for you so you can get a good view of what's happening across the region. And again, we have 4 active tornado warnings as of 5:39 p.m. local time. I'm meteorologist Spinks Megginson, joining you on the road this evening. Unfortunately, we are outside of our studio this evening, and I'm not able to get there quickly, and thus we are providing the coverage the best way we can here in the mobile studio, aka my car. Again, 4 tornado warnings. And so I want to call out the communities again that are involved in the active tornado warnings. And if you are in these communities, you need to do something about it. So the first order of business, we want to call out areas near Topton, Seaboard, also Moffattville, Earlville, Mount Vernon, also areas near Jordan in Washington County. You are involved in an active tornado warning that is valid until at least 5:45, if not 6 o'clock. So again, we're going to be with you for the next little bit. Let's actually go over to the velocity product. On this and see if we can get kind of a good view here. There's the reflectivity. And again, it's just raining like cats and dogs over West Alabama. No doubt it has been a very wet day, but again, the main concern is going to be these possible tornadoes that are currently in progress across parts of Washington County. Let me stress as well, we have no active tornado warnings for any part of Monroe, Conecuh, Escambia, Covington, Butler, or any part of Northwest Florida. I'm actually getting a new tornado warning now, and this is going to be a continuation of the one in northern Mobile County. So we'll zoom in there. And again, this is a situation where we've had a continuation of a tornado warning for parts of Mobile, Washington, and Clark County. So I want to take off the radar data. There that is. And again, folks near Calvert now officially involved in an active tornado warning that continues for the next, this one's going to be until 6:15, I believe. Yes, indeed. And this is going to be a possible tornado very near Mount Vernon, like we've been talking about, that's moving off to the north. There's the radar view. Let's go over to velocity if we can get that up for you to see. Zoom in and you can see possible tornado is down here near Mount Vernon, coming into areas near Calvert. Now, I realize in Clark County you may have gotten an alert, but the deal is this is a situation where 99% of Clark County is not involved in the active tornado warning. If you're in Jackson, Thomasville, Grove Hill, you are okay. However, if you're in Mount Vernon, you are under the gun. Same thing at Calvert, same thing in areas south of Malcolm along US Highway 43. We encourage absolutely no travel right now from McIntosh all the way back down to Berry Village in Mobile County, as we have these active tornado warnings that continue in West Alabama over the next few minutes. And just being honest, the circulation center here in the western part of Mobile County looks quite a bit weaker than it once did. So again, situation in western Mobile County appears to have improved somewhat as this circulation center is approaching Earlville. We can give Wilmer an all clear at this point. So again, folks near Wilmer, you are now out, or excuse me, you're technically still in the tornado warning polygon, but you're out of the danger zone. And so that's what we want to see. Again, Wilmer, if you're in Wilmer, you can come out of that tornado hiding place. And we have 3 other areas of concern, 2 of which are in Washington County. And clearly, these cells in Washington County are cells that have ramped up over the last few minutes. We'll zoom out a bit on our radar here. There we go. And actually, just as I say that, we've got another tornado warning that's being issued right now for parts of Choctaw County. So let's take that and show you that. That's going to be a continuation of this thing over in Washington County. So again, active tornado warning number 1 has been extended into parts of Clark County in West Alabama, including Coffeyville. So again, areas near Coffeyville now under the gun from a possible tornado. What we're going to do is send out a red zone weather alert. And again, if you are in Clark County, you just received one of our red zone weather text alerts via the app there, the notification system. And it's because of this new tornado warning that is valid until 6:30 local time for Choctaw County. The circulation center is actually down in through here, currently coming out of areas near Chatham and moving up towards Bigby and Frankville. So again, this is a new tornado warning, and this is going to be on the board until 6:30 local time. Current time is 5:45 p.m. And the good news to report at this point is that this cell in western Mobile County continues to show signs that it is weaker than it once was. There still is a tornado warning in effect for Earlville, but clearly the danger has now passed out of Wilmer. So again, if you're in Wilmer, we can tell you you can come out of that tornado hiding place at this point, as the possible tornado is coming up towards Earlville right now. I'm seeing numerous reports on social media that there have been sightings of tornadoes across Mobile County. So these cells that we're tracking on radar this evening certainly do mean business. Again, we are watching this situation with you as a possible tornado comes up into areas near Calvert and Mount Vernon. We actually had a report on social media a minute ago that there was a confirmed tornado near Axis. I cannot independently confirm that, but we're getting that unconfirmed report in via social media. Again, the new tornado warning that was just issued until 6:30 is valid for parts of Washington, Clark, and Choctaw counties. And that's this storm up here in the northern part of Washington County, moving into areas near Coffeyville to the east of Silas along US Highway 84. That's where your tornado warning danger is at this point for Coffeyville. Also, this is going to include St. Stephen's, areas near Frankville, Silver Cross, Bigby. Please be in a safe place right now. If I just called your community out, be in that safe place. The good news is, too, this circulation center that's coming into areas here near Seaboard and Tibby, the initial circulation faded out, but I tell you, this thing on the eastern flank has really ramped up over the last few minutes. We'll go back over to the reflectivity product here. And again, I think we may get another tornado warning shortly for Washington County. So again, I know that this is a very rural part of West Alabama, but we want to be here for the folks in Washington County, as we could get another tornado warning in addition to the 4 that we have ongoing across our region. Tell you what, I'm going to actually move our computer here so I can kind of have a better view. If it looks like I'm looking down today, I am, because I've actually got a computer screen in front of me that's kind of feeding me the information that I can help get to you. So again, I apologize that I'm not looking directly at the camera at some point. And yeah, these circulation centers continue to just form and fade away across West Alabama in the tornado watch zone. Again, a tornado watch continues until 10 o'clock for Choctaw, Clark, Washington, Mobile, and Baldwin counties in West Alabama. I think, and I'm cautiously optimistic, that once we get to the hour after sunset, this activity will begin to fade away as we lose daytime instability. But again, I tell you, it's been a rough day in parts of West Alabama with numerous tornado warnings over the last few hours and numerous tornado warnings now. In fact, we have 4 on the board, and I want to take you bit by bit. In fact, here's our new tornado warning that I told you was a possibility. This is going to be for parts of Clark and Washington counties. So again, Clark and Washington, a new tornado warning is in the process of being issued. This new polygon that's about to pop up is going to include Salitpa, St. Stephen's, also areas near Wagerville included in this new warning that you can see has just popped up. Jackson and McVeigh are not included. Same thing at Toddtown, not included in this new tornado warning that is going to be active until, this one's going to be on the board until 6:30 local time. So again, we're going to be here for quite a bit longer as we continue to track these numerous rotation areas in West Alabama that could be producing tornadoes. Again, joining you on the road today. I'm not in studio, and I apologize about that, but obligations have called me elsewhere today. And again, we are here because of 5 active tornado warnings that continue at least until 6 o'clock, in some cases as late as 6:30 p.m. Let's take them bit by bit. Here's the first one. We'll zoom into areas near Mount Vernon and Calvert. And this possible tornado is now crossing out of Mobile County, very near the former ThyssenKrupp plant near Calvert. All right, so that's tornado warning number 1, and it's very near the AMNS former ThyssenKrupp plant there in Calvert. We're also watching this cell in the western part of Mobile County. This is near Earlville, moving to the north. We can give Wilmer an all clear. This is also going to pass to the west of Gulfcrest. So again, those 2 communities, Gulfcrest and Wilmer, get an all clear. Earlville and Boothtown in the northern part of Mobile County do not get an all clear just yet. So again, that's Mobile County. Let's look at Washington County, because again, this is going to be a new tornado warning that has just popped on the board, and we will go over to the velocity to show you why this has been issued. Let me actually turn on the telestrator here. That little blip on the radar moving just like that is why you have a new tornado warning for Silitpa, a new one for Bigby, also Wagerville, Sunflower, and Malcolm involved in this new tornado warning that is valid until 6:30 local time. Man, oh man, we have had quite a few tornado warnings on this Friday afternoon. And unfortunately, there could be more over the next few hours. Unfortunately, I should say there could be more over the next few hours. Let's actually zoom out on our velocity product here, and we'll go back over to the reflectivity, the high-res reflectivity if we can, and show you that right now what we have going on is a situation that remains very active. The calls to action: Silver Cross, St. Stephen's, also areas near Bigby, be in a safe place. Same thing at Wagerville, same thing at Malcolm, also areas near Calvert and the AMNS former ThyssenKrupp plant. They're in the northern part of Mobile County on the county line with Washington County. If you're near the ThyssenKrupp plant, possible tornado in those areas as well. So we need you to be in a safe place if you are near the ThyssenKrupp plant in the northern part of Mobile County. We'll zoom in here to northern Mobile County, where there is a continuing tornado warning until 5:30. This is going to be near Boothville and also near Earlville. We'll zoom in on that one. And again, you're looking at 5 tornado warnings. Again, 5 tornado warnings all at once happening as of 5:52 p.m. Here's one, and this is near Earlville. Your possible tornado is going to be to the west of the U.S. Highway 45 corridor. This will likely pass well to the west of Citronelle and Gulfcrest and Russell as it approaches Earlville from the south. We'll kind of zoom out and again go back over to Washington County, where we have 4 active tornado warnings. Absolutely unbelievable. But yes, indeed, you've got 4 active tornado warnings, and it's so much easier to see on velocity why. You've got one possible tornado right in through here. That's one area of concern. You've got another area of concern here just to the west of Sunflower. You've got another area of concern right here, perhaps the strongest cell near Calvert. And all of those have this general motion to the north, and these things are moving very quickly at about 40 miles per hour. So again, Washington County, parts of Clark County under a tornado warning near Silitpa, and also Coffeyville under a tornado warning as well. We've gone back to reflectivity now. And again, we're getting confirmed reports that tornadoes have touched down in parts of Mobile County. We've got several images on Twitter that continue to stream in, and these cells are producing very brief tornadoes. There was one tornado down near Sims earlier, but that is a deal that most likely what happened is you had a tornado down for about 5 minutes and then it lifted up. These cells are cycling up and down. So here's what I want to do, because what's happening now that we are soon to lose this daytime heating, or at least some of it anyway, most likely what these cells are going to do will continue to likely progressively weaken. So that is good news. We're going to say goodbye in a minute, and we are going to keep the Facebook live stream going. And again, I'm going to watch and do cut-ins as necessary. So again, the feed won't end, but what we're going to do is adjust to a cut-in phase where I pop in every few minutes to bring you an update. Again, the strongest storm at the moment appears to be this one in Washington County to the west of Sunflower near Wagerville. So again, Wagerville, St. Stephen's, Sunflower, we need you to be in a safe place. Again, reflectivity view there, and the storms are going to continue over West Alabama. Let's put this in motion for you, because over the last few hours, we have had numerous tornado warnings across West Alabama. You can see the plethora of polygons there as the storms continue racing northward. But as of this moment, we do not have any issues across parts of Monroe, Conecuh, Escambia, Butler, or Covington counties. We do have storms in progress across Baldwin County, but those storms are under severe limits. So here's what we're going to do. Again, changing over to our cut-in system, I will be back as necessary. Again, tornado warnings do continue in West Alabama. The stream will stay, and I'll be back as needed.